This is how I became a regular contributor to Forbes. And once again, I am in my closet recording this for you because my dad is visiting me here and he's sleeping in a few rooms over, and I just want to be super careful to make sure that I don't wake him up. It was 2016. I'd been a student of the great game of business. I'd applied it in a few different businesses and got extraordinary results for my clients. We're talking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars of new profit for my clients. So I contacted the head office of the great game of business, letting them know about my extraordinary results, thinking that they would want to feature that on their stage at their annual conference for users of their methodology. The event was called The Gathering of the Games. This year it was happening in Dallas, and they said yes. They said, please come down. If you can get yourself here, we'll put you on a stage. I thought in the weeks and months leading up to it that I would be just really kind of going through the case study of how I used the great game of business inside of more so modern, non-traditional businesses. A lot of the examples in the book, The Great Game of Business, are manufacturing, whereas I operate much more in the internet and remote business world. And I have since 2011. So we're talking a long time now that I've been kind of in that more remote business world. I was surprised when suddenly I get this message just, I think, a week before I was supposed to speak in Dallas, saying, hey, we really are getting a lot of requests for speakers on the topics of managing millennials. You're a millennial, right? I was like, yeah, actually, I just make the cutoff of being a millennial. They said, could you speak about managing millennials? And I'm thinking about it, and I hadn't done a ton of it, but I've certainly been a millennial, and I've been managed in different settings. So thinking that my opportunity to speak might be slipping here, I said, sure, I'll do it. Sounds good. How long do I have? So we sorted out the details, and suddenly I was like, oh man, I have got to do my homework ASAP. Now, September 7th, 2016, I posted on Facebook, I don't know if you can see this post right here. And what that is right there is the picture of my laptop the night before my talk. This is still on my Facebook page to this day. My post says, this is on September 7th, 2016 at probably something like 3 a.m. It said, practiced my talk for 13 straight hours today. We're talking like TED caliber prep. I hope Forbes, Entrepreneur, and Inc. magazine are all in the audience tomorrow because I'm bringing the heat. So of course I'm being fun and playful, never thinking Inc., Entrepreneur, Forbes are going to be there. I was just being playful. I went to the conference center the next day, and I think I was on like 2 or 3 hours of sleep because I had spent 13 straight hours preparing my talk, and I just landed the day before. And I was kind of on a prayer, you know. There's this expression that luck is when preparation meets opportunity. Well, I didn't know what opportunity was going to be in the room for me that day, but what I knew was that every time in my life that I've really given it everything that I've got, the worst that's happened is that I've lost and gotten a ton of experience and insight. The best that's happened is that I've won. And in fact, oftentimes the losses become wins. It just requires a few more reps and a little bit more time. So I strode onto stage. It was about 150 to 200 people in the room. It wasn't the big keynote in the big ballroom. It was a breakout room, but still a 200-person breakout room is pretty big. And I started delivering my speech with all the vim and vigor and passion of what I had learned in A, my life as a millennial, B, in the study that I'd done since being invited to speak at this event, and then thirdly, just the hammering of reps and reps and reps and reps and reps and reps for 13 straight hours the day before. Well, lo and behold, my speech ends. I am telling you, the whole room gave me a standing ovation. It was one of the most overwhelming and maybe unexpected results of my life. But looking back, I had studied like a madman, and I had practiced over and over and over and over and over again for 13 hours the day before. So I was delighted to see that not only did I get a standing ovation, but I had a number of people, probably about 30 or 40 people of the 150 to 200, actually came to the front to shake my hand and thank me for my presentation. So I felt very moved and inspired by that, and touched, and kind of honestly taken a little bit aback. And the second last person to come shake my hand put their hand out like this, like you would expect to shake a hand, but then use their left hand and kind of place it on top of the right hand. And in that second left hand was a business card. And that business card, I looked down and my jaw must have hit the ground. It had the person's name and it said Entrepreneurship Editor, Forbes. And I look from the business card up at this gentleman and he says, Tim, you're an incredible presenter. I want to have you as a Forbes contributor. Can we talk? On the outside, I wanted to play it super cool. And so I was like, sure, sounds good. Let's talk. On the inside, I was like a 9-year-old girl at a Taylor Swift concert, just totally like losing my mind. So excited, could barely contain myself. So we went back and forth and finally got it all sorted out. I started contributing literally every other week, I think it was, on Forbes, and it was a whole video production. So I had like a professional film crew come to me once a month or once every 2 months. We'd shoot all the episodes we needed for the next kind of 8 weeks or so. So that is the true story of how I became a Forbes contributor. And I think that the big takeaway is that preparation, luck is when preparation meets opportunity. I've been hearing that quote for years and years and years and years, and now I would say it's more or less just kind of ingrained into me, where I'm like, okay, if I get to prepare, I get to work hard like a maniac, learn on fast forward, and just get in there and get going as fast as I can, because that is where I've learned the most and gained the most, is when I just take that kind of like all chips in kind of approach to education on and like getting real world reps ASAP. Found that helpful? Do subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.